Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everybody has somehow got over that disappointing 1-0 defeat to Portsmouth earlier on this afternoon. Just before we get into tonight's video, please make sure you are smashing that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Hit the notification bell, and of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions into the comment section down below. It's time for your player ratings video. So giving every player that played today a rating out of 10 for their performance. So this one should be interesting, shouldn't it? Like I said, guys, very disappointing performance from everyone involved today, I thought. There was a few players that covered themselves in glory, but not a lot of them. It was very poor. I thought Portsmouth clearly wanted it more. And like I said in the review video from earlier on, which if you haven't already, go and check that out. I thought they used the crowd to their advantage. The crowd was loud, they made it hostile for Leeds United, and it was a difficult environment to play in. But that's no excuse. Like, Leeds should have gone there and won the game. I've checked the league table; they've actually stayed 17th, even though they've won that game, and we're top of the league. It's just not good enough. And a lot of people are saying, is this the start of Leeds falling apart? Are we going to bottle it again? I wouldn't go that far just yet. Let's see where we are after the QPR game next Saturday, and then we can have a conversation about it at that point. But yeah, it just wasn't good enough, was it, today? But let's get into the individual ratings then. We'll start with Illan Meslier in goal, who I thought was actually all right. I thought he commanded his box a lot better. Actually caught things when he should be catching them and punched things out when he should be punching them. The Portsmouth player that fouled him should have easily gotten at least a yellow card. How he wasn't even given a caution for that is an absolute joke. Like I said earlier, the officiating is an absolute disgrace at this level. But for Illan Meslier, obviously, could have done slightly better on the goal. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I thought it was all right in the game. Jayden Bogle also gets a 6 from me. Quite disappointing, actually, because of late. I think he's had good impacts in games. But like I said, unfortunately, it just doesn't have the desired effect today. I thought his touch was off, his passing wasn't off, and the fact that he wasn't able to link up well with Dan James down that right-hand side. Yes, that's probably as a result of what Portsmouth, what their game plan was to nullify that right-hand side. But still, Jayden Bogle should have played a lot better than what he did, which is why I've given him a 6. Joe Rodon, again, for the majority of the game, did defend quite well. But I did feel that he was very poor for their goal. Yes, Meslier could do a little bit better, but I think the fact that it's just a simple ball over the top, which has caught Joe Rodon off guard way too easily, in my opinion. And Illan Meslier is all right having a go at Joe Rodon, but I think in that instance he's probably right to have a go at him. I thought the defending was poor. It is quite clear to see that Rodon and Meslier have got a bit of a weird relationship, unless it's actually fine behind closed doors. But on the pitch, you've seen it a few times this season where they both kind of have a go at each other. So I don't know if I'm reading too much into that, but let's move on. Pascal, I thought, was slightly better than Joe Rodon in the game today, so I've given him a 7. I thought he won his aerial duels quite well, and overall just defended very well in the game. Like I said, I don't think it was his fault for the goal. It was Rodon's man. So yeah, I won't blame him at all for the goal, and overall I thought it was decent, so I'll give him a 7. Junior Firpo I've also given a 7 to. I thought out of the two fullbacks, he was the one that was getting involved in the game more, trying to link up well with Mana Solomon down that left-hand side. Obviously, golden opportunities that he should score. He hits the bar with a header, and the one where he shoots right at the goalkeeper, he should do way better on that. But overall, I thought he was promising, so I'll give him a 7. Ilya Gruev, didn't affect the game at all, in my opinion. Way too safe, not progressive enough. Gave the ball away a few times. Doesn't win aerial duels. Isn't physical enough. I give him a 5. And let's just move on. Tanaka, I've given a 6. I thought one of his poorest performances of the season, I must admit, was getting dispossessed quite a lot. Passing wasn't right. And yeah, just hasn't had the effect on the game today like he has in other games. That's why I've given him a 6. Dan James, I've given a 6.5. I thought was okay. Again, didn't really see that much of him because of the game plan that Portsmouth implemented to try and nullify that right-hand side, as we said with Jayden Bogle. But again, was a little bit more involved, I would say. But again, just wasn't great. And again, yeah, so 6.5 for Dan James. Aronson, I've given the same rating as Gruev. I've given him a 5. I just, again, just lacks physicality. Decision making poor, creativity just not there. Again, doesn't win aerial duels, isn't physical enough for me. So yeah, I've given him a 5. Solomon, I've given the same as Dan James. I've given him a 6.5. I thought they both probably had the same level of performance where they were kind of involved, but kind of not as much as what they usually are. Solomon maybe slightly more than Dan James, but I just felt like because they both didn't have great effects on the game, I've given them both the same rating. And Joel Perreault, I've given a 6 to. Quite anonymous in the game in the first half. Obviously, it should score that golden opportunity in the first half, and then another even better chance in the second half that he blazes straight over the bar. So, yeah, not Joel Perreault's day, but I don't think it was any of their days, really, to be honest. So we've given him a 6. And then into the subs, Joe Rothwell, I've given a 6. I thought was okay when he came on. Ramazani, I've given a 5. Not great when he come on. Nonto 5 as well. Didn't really do much. Joseph, I've given a 6. I thought he was making some decent runs and was occupying their centre backs quite well. But other than that, didn't really do anything. So I've given him a 6. And Byram, I've given a 6 to as well. Again, was all right when he came on. I understand why he brought Jayden Bogle off in the game, to be fair. And Byram came on and was okay, in all honesty. Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? And, well, we'll give Daniel Farker a rating, shall we? I'm going to give Farker a 6 as well. I thought the decision to put Gruev in from the start massively backfired. I thought it hurt our threat going forward big time because he's just not progressive enough and is a totally different midfielder to what Joe Rothwell is. And the fact that he didn't take Gruev off when he first made substitutions in the game and that he lasted longer than I expected is just, yeah, it was laughable, to be fair. It was clear and obvious that Gruev needed to come off the pitch. And again, kind of agree with taking Tanaka off. It wasn't his best game. But boy, keeping Gruev on was just, yeah. So I've given him a 6, guys. So that is it for the player ratings for our defeat to Portsmouth. Yeah, like I said, hit me up in the comment section down below, guys, with what your ratings would have been, who your man of the match was. Did Farker get it wrong today? Make sure you're hitting that like button if you've enjoyed the content as well. Subscribe to the channel if you are brand new and hit the notification bell. And I will be live on the channel tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock with Darren and Dillo from Only Leeds Bros. So make sure that you tune into that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.